Hello everyone, let's begin today live sessions. Okay, so hopefully everyone is actually prepare yourself and do remember that we have been giving out a lot of trading opportunities for the recent days, and I'm actually wanted to apologize that for the previous few days we didn't do live streaming sessions because we do have some technical issues. I think probably the most important thing is that we do have a major technical issues, and besides of that, I also need to go hospital a while. So it's a bit a busy week. I think starting from last Friday, not so sure how long we stop. I think we have been stopping since last Friday. Monday and Tuesday. This Tuesday, I think we have been stopping 2 days. But anyway, we'll be continue doing live streaming sessions right now. So remember everyone, if you do really like our content, please give us a like, subscribe, and follow us. And sorry for didn't really live streaming soon, but as I mentioned before, we'll be continue as starting back to today. Okay, recently I'm actually preparing the weekly report and weekly newsletters. So this might be taking some time and telling you guys about how do we do trading. Yes, recently I was thinking about if I wanted to create a weekly report, I will be mainly focusing on the retail traders. So because I don't think the professional ones like the what we call the professional institutions will be looking through my reports. So as I mentioned about that, I will be much more focusing on the retail sites. So retail sites will be major about what is the directions of the market, what is the expectations and what is the market expectations of the market and so on. So I'll be keep on doing this kind of content, okay, in the next few days or maybe from the next few months and so on. So I will be keep on doing it. Okay, so because I already mentioned that my technique is what we call the TMT, where you ride the trend, master the trend, ride the momentum, and master your timing. We will be doing our reports will be likely to be circle size or maybe run between these three things. So the first thing first, we need to know what is the trend. Once we know the trend, we have the 50% on our sites. Next, we need to know the momentum. Is it the momentum is strong or is it facing some kind of resistance area, the momentum? And the third thing is what we call the timing perspective. Where is your entry level? Okay, I think I mentioned before, timing is not quite important comparable to trend and momentum. If you are getting it really strong in trend and momentum, your timing is not really important. But if your timing is actually quite good, you can actually get a really good what we call a really good TP area as well. So you need to remember about that. So remember TMT, where you ride the trend, where you master the trend, ride the momentum, and perfect your timing. Okay, so yeah, let's see about this. So today I think we have been doing a lot of tradings. So I think the market is actually showing us some weakness on this one. So it's actually quite good on this one. So yeah, I think the price is actually not quite consistent on this one. I think I'm actually right about this. Market is actually wanted to go lower. Dollar index, is it going higher? Oh, there's news, is it? Let's see, is there any news today? NFP? What the fuck? NFP? NFP revisions minus 900k, biggest record. So what we can see right now is that let's see, what the fuck is this? 7月9号。 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 the pre-pyramid estimate benchmark rate total non-farm employment for March 2085 is minus the year. Oh, no wonder we can see the dollar index. To be honest, I do think that the dollar index is actually reaching back towards on the lower side. Hmm. Quite crazy, the market. Not so sure what is this report about. The NFP reports is actually showing us some signs about their revisions about minus 900k. So we can see that the market is actually quite crazy. So let me read through the preliminary estimate of current employment as a benchmark for March 2025 is minus 911,000. 2025 March. HUCES employment estimate on benchmark on accounts. Let me see. I think it's actually quite interesting on this one. Okay, if that's the case, I think this might be creating pressure on dollar index, not support, but it's kind of weird. So 75 is actually quite strong resistance area. Didn't expected that I'm actually quite accurate on this one. And let's see. Ooh. I think price might be hoping this 408四零，NF USNF non-farm benchmark revision point to preview from March. The BIS will release the Tuesday. Market widely expect the Fed to lower the policy rates multiple times this year. Standard Chartered analysis thinks that the Fed could offer for 50 basis point for cut next week. The United States will publish the 2025 preliminary benchmark revisions on September. The preliminary revision will cover 12-month period through March 2025 before final battery decisions. Quite interesting on this one. Oh, and okay, interesting. When BIS release the third ample revisions in August, it's not that. Make this probably will be putting a lot of supports. It seems like the market is probably reaching back to the lower sides, but gold market dollar index is not likely to break through this level. So I do think it's actually quite a good signs about this one. But this is actually a really strong weakness. Definitely a really strong weakness about the gold market. Exhaustions has been happening. Seems like the market is actually quite crazy at this moment. So let's see. Quite crazy at this moment. Can't argue without that. I think the market should be forming some kind of supports on 41. Here's a supporting level, but let's put it right here about and see how the market reacts afterwards. Let's make it other pairings. Mark up other pairings first. See. See. To be honest, there's a lot of things happening. This report is actually quite quite curious about it. I will be researching it afterwards and let you guys know the updates about the markets. Okay, so let me know what's your thought about it. If you do know what is really going on, and if you do wanted to know more about it, just give us a like and subscribe, okay? We'll be doing live streaming sessions every single day, as I mentioned before. We won't be stopping anything for now. We have some technical issues before this few days, but we'll be starting back again. Okay, so remember this. Seems like the market is actually quite crazy about it. But yeah, I think the dollar index is actually reaching back towards the lower sides. So the gold should be spiking back any moment. Right now, the market might be forming a ranging level. It's not quite suitable to trade from my perspective. So remember, if you do really like my content, please give us a like, subscribe, and follow us. We'll be doing live streaming sessions every single day from Monday to Friday from 10 to 11. So if you do have any question, just press the like button and give us some support out of it, okay? But there's a lot of things happening. Swiping high, swiping lows. USD, USD. Now let's go to AUDUSD. Since quite a while we didn't really do the AUDUSD AUDUSD see, I do think the price is actually forming some kind of supporting level. So right now the market is actually reaching back towards on the high. I haven't go through the news yet, but I think it's because the revisions on the NFP, so the market is actually reaching through low. But to be honest, this news is actually much more beneficial to the dollar index going lower. So this is quite surprising from this push. Overall, what we expectations is that this today To be honest, I'm actually much more leaning to looking through the dollar index to go lower. But right now, we see that the dollar index is actually forming a really strong swipe back and going back towards on the higher side. So let's see right now if the price do really break through this level. If the price do really break through this level, then I think it's not a really good sight from the dollar index perspective. So I think this is actually quite important. Okay. So anyway, this is what we expectations that the silver is reaching back towards on this lower side and reaching back to this ranging level. So yeah, I'll be looking through the news and I'll be writing it much more details about it. The BLS race benchmark, it's not that US agreement. It's not that the US, not that the US economic rate, 800 of fuel job original report in the 12 month. This translate. Oh, okay. I think what is really going on, but if that's the case, then it's quite weird that the dollar index is actually spiking higher. Is it actually quite weird? Yes, I do think that. But anyway, we'll be overall looking through that the dollar index is going lower, everyone. So remember, if you do really like my content, please give us a like, subscribe, and follow us. We'll be doing live streaming sessions every single day from Monday to Friday from 8 to 10 at 8 to 10 to 11. So if you do really like our content, please give us a like, subscribe, and follow us. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, I think the dollar index is actually reaching back to the lower sides. This is actually kind of sad about this one. Weekly reports. Swiping off. Need to start right away. Really cannot. New Zealand USD, let's see. Wow, New Zealand USD even much more lesser. Oh, need to analyze more from the gold market perspective. But to be honest, I do think that the dollar index is much more likely to go lower. That's why the gold market should be forming this ranging level from now. So let's see. Let's see the news. yeah, to be honest, I do think that this will be continue to putting pressure on it. Yeah, I will be doing long positions on the Euro USD pairings up. Yeah, Euro USD is definitely a really good long opportunity. I think the price might be forming some kind of supports. Same goes to GBP So let's see. GBP USD pairings. GBP USD. The market might be forming a ranging level between this level, then will be forming a direction. Same goes to EURUSD, JPSD should be the same, and silver will be also the same thing as well. Gold will be also the same thing, forming a ranging level and see how it turns out. 75. I think this news is actually quite interesting. Ooh. Go in 5-minute channel, it breaks soon. Move will come later in weeks. The month candle has been closed. Edge my TP, then went to my S level, closing check. 10 plus 10 trade, but you decide to hit the market trend. What will do? What is this shit? Schedule or financial media talking about it ahead of today. How could market price in something that wasn't even on the table? There is an on. Can't even trust this Canada no more. NFP is already over. Why take my stop loss? Second time we got a huge revisions. So here's the questions any data jobs have actually been created. Sounds like market manipulations today hit. Thank God, boss. So Oh, interesting on this one. Okay, so currently we do expectations that the gold market should be forming a ranging level at this moment. So this level, I think the market should be forming a ranging level. Let's see how it turns out. It's actually quite weird if we do see that the dollar index is spiking up. This is actually quite really weird. So remember everyone, give us a like and subscribe, and do remember to follow our live streaming sessions. We'll be doing live streaming sessions every single day from Monday to Friday from 10 to 11. So yeah, let's see. Seems like the market is actually reaching through, but to be honest, I don't think the gold market will be forming much more lower. So I will be saying that the market will be forming this low and see how it turns out. But this is actually showing some weakness now. Okay. Let's see. Wait a moment. The price may be going lower. Reaching back to this level. 3634. 3634. I think the price might be reaching to this level. Price is actually ranging out, forming some kind of big resistance. So most likely that the price forming ranging, going back towards this lower sides. After that, price should be giving us some confirmations out of it. I think this might be it. I think the price might be reaching back to this level and then spiking back up. So if I wanted to do long, definitely thinking to do long from here and try to see can we get back to this level. Okay, so it seems like the market has actually wanted to go lower. Kind of weird to be honest. Comparable to the dollar index is actually bumping it. This data is actually much more leaning to bearish from the what we call the dollar index. But in the end, we do see that a bump up from the dollar index. So NFE news. Front camera is actually much more suitable.
Hello everyone, welcome back to TMT where you master a trend, ride the momentum, and perfect your timing. Hello everyone, welcome back to TMT where you master a trend, ride the momentum, and perfect your timing.
Quite less likely to see dollar index to break through. Quite less often to see that, but yeah, I do think that the dollar index will be breaking through this level. Show a really strong weakness on this one. This is a really strong weakness. 16. Silver is actually reaching back, but I do think that the gold market will be falling back towards on this lower sides and spiking back. It's not quite often to see the price to keep on going lower, so this support is definitely a really strong one, and expectations that the price might be going back towards on the lower sides, I mean the resistance sides. So yeah, I think the price might be spiking here and then spiking up. So this is where we put out the best supporting level, spiking back and see how it turns out. I do think the price might be giving us some kind of support and spiking back. Huh? So remember, here is actually a really strong support. Expectations and price might be giving us some kind of supports from here. Let's see. Three, four, 3, 6, 3, 5. Silver, USD spiking lower again. GBUSD is also spiking back. I'm not so sure what is happening, but the dollar index is actually quite strong. Okay, so let's see. I do think that the gold market should be reaching back towards this level and spiking back. So this is actually a really strong support to going back to this level. It's not quite likely to continue going lower. So if I really wanted to do long positions, I'm definitely thinking to do long positions right here, and expectations that the price will be spiking up. Same goes to silver. Silver is right here is actually forming through a really strong support, but from this moment of timing, I don't think the price might be spiking back any moment. Should be forming a ranging level a much more longer time, so remember about that. So remember, if you do really like my content, please give us a like, subscribe, and follow us. If you do have any questions about it, just leave a comment at the comment section below. And then I will be closing our live streaming sessions. Another 4 to 5 minutes, and we'll be ending our live session. So remember to give us a like and subscribe. Okay. Yep, I think it's actually quite correct. Price of gold market will be spiking back and forming some kind of ranging level. Same goes to Euro USD and also the GBP USD pairings as well. So we'll be waiting for the market to slow down. Then after that, we'll be doing long or short positions. Okay. So remember, if you guys do really like our content, please give us a like, subscribe, and follow us. Do remember that we'll be doing live streaming sessions every single day. Even though right now the content still need to improve a lot, but as I mentioned, we'll be continue doing it. Okay, so thank you for everyone joining, and see you guys tomorrow.